Welcome to FTMO Performance Talks, the podcast about trading performance for serious traders. In today's episode,
it takes enormous efforts to do it, especially in trading, because you need to fight your inner impulses.
Identifying where's the problem and then really trying to change that particular problem.
What can I expect if I will do the same thing over and over again?
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast.
Welcome back to Performance Talks. My name is Michael.
And I'm Nelly.
And today, when we were talking about our podcast and about the topic we can choose, we are talking about the change and how to change and about the ability to change. And we were also talking about that sometimes some people, they put efforts in change, but in a wrong way. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned one of your clients, so maybe we can start with that and we can look deeper what it actually means.
Good. Let's dive into it. So basically, I was just telling to Michael, I've been working with one client of mine. He's actually an amazing person, really smart guy. And I see that there is really that sort of like hardworking attitude. But at the same time, as I said, basically, I see that there are some sort of like things he's not able to change. Okay. And at the same time, he's putting like so much energy and effort into trading, but as you said, like basically in the wrong parts of it, you know. So basically, it wouldn't be effective at all.
Okay, and maybe if you can share some specific actions or behavior he's doing or some efforts he puts in.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Okay. So basically, he's having some sort of like a bad habits and he's not able to get rid of it. So together, we were thinking about how to work with the thoughts, how to, like simplify the whole process. Mm-hmm. How to bring more awareness into his action. Mm-hmm. And we decided that he's gonna create some sort of like daily reports, weekly reports, so he would be like writing everything down. So, like if you imagine that you are, for example, revenge trading or over trading, and you know that you have to journal everything afterwards, like it's kind of annoying, right? Like if you imagine that you take a lot of trades per day, and just to point out, like he's a scalper, so he takes, even like usually he would take like more trades than like the majority of my clients, but then when he is like in this sort of revenge trading mode, he's taking even like double or triple amount of the trades than usually, and then he has to write down every single note about the trades, like it's his task, like we set this plan and he's doing these like daily reports and weekly reports, as I said. And to have some sort of accountability, we even set this sort of like a habit that he's gonna share these daily reports with me. So basically I know he really devotes a lot of energy into these tasks. Like he would never skip his daily reports, he would never skip his weekly reports now, but at the same time, he is not able to follow the plan to the T during the process, and he's still repeating these bad habits, He's this sort of like a behavioral pattern, this like negative spiraling, like it's just like so deeply rooted inside of him that he's not able to get rid of it. And basically, all these daily reports and weekly reports, it's like he's putting so much energy into that, but it's not helping in that momentum,
So basically, what I'm getting is that he still struggles with the revenge trading or something, but then maybe, and it's my assumption, maybe I'm wrong, he says, but I'm doing what we agreed on with Nelly. I'm doing my daily reports and weekly reports, but then it maybe serve like an excuse or something, because like on psychological level, I know that I'm putting some efforts, I do something, but as you said, he puts the efforts, okay, so he does the reports, but the real change or the real difference or what would make the difference is not how many reports he will do, but to stop in the moment, in the present moment when there is revenge trading coming, and resist the temptation or go away from the platform. So that's basically what you are saying, right?
Like breaking from that pattern at that certain moment, it's like impossible for him. He will rather like put all this extra energy into the reports and sort of maybe, as you said, like use it as some sort of excuse even for himself, you know, to just like feel better, to feel productive.
It makes sense.
But it's not helping.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I think that this is many times like valid for, I mean, for all people, but also for people in other fields or professions, or when we talk about the self-development or something. I don't know, maybe you have friends who just watch the Instagram, the groups with the motivation speeches, with the motivation memes, with the, I don't know what else. But then in their mind, I think it's like this. I'm spending my time on my self-development. That means that I'm looking at the podcasts of successful people.
Like consuming all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what it actually means, okay, that's good that you don't consume just silly jokes or something. Maybe there is added value in that. But then when we go just on the behavior level, what you are doing, you are just consuming something, and if the change is not happening, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's like it's like that you know theoretically how to cook everything, but you haven't tried.
Yeah, you didn't put it into the action.
Yeah, so how you can be sure that you can do it? Because at certain level, it's not about knowing more stuff, but it's about putting some parts in action.
Yeah, like putting effort.
Putting effort,
into-
and do it. Just do it. You know, it's like
basically just do it.
just do it. You know, because that's the best way how to change is to change, and it takes enormous efforts to do it, especially in trading, because you need to fight your inner impulses. You need to fight the natural thinking, because the revenge trading is very natural and tempting to do.
Yeah.
So.
And if you are doing that for a long time, I think we were talking about this in
Yeah.
previous episodes, it's inside of you, you know, like...
Yeah, it's your pattern. It's your behavior pattern and thinking pattern. So then it becomes more difficult to break that cycle. But on the other hand, once you break that cycle, it gets easier to break it again, and then you have a new behavior and thinking pattern. But you need to do it. So that's what I would say, that
What do you think that is the best way how to change?
yeah, aside from change. Yeah, define the issue. Define the issue and target the issue, because many times people get overwhelmed. You know, so just one day I will decide I will stop smoking, I will start a healthy diet, I will exercise, and I will send money to charity or something. Very, very good goals, but extremely difficult to change at once. So I would suggest start with one thing that hurts you the most, specify that, so you exactly know what is the thing and how it should look like, so you could be happy with yourself. So that would be the one. And then keep track of the ability to change. That means if my goal is to, let's say, have maximum of 3 trades per day, then I need to track those numbers. because it's very specific. I know every time I cross that number, I know that I have crossed. So
Yeah, you know it.
you know it, and you see it on paper, you see it in your account metrics, so then it's very difficult to argue. But it's very important to have such a feedback, because then you know if your number of trades is declining, or if if it stays the same, or if it goes up. So define the goal, have the feedback system, and then put the efforts. Don't get frustrated or disappointed when you don't meet your goal for first time, or for example that you meet it one time and then again it's difficult to meet it again. So I mean, it just happens because it took time to develop certain behavior pattern.
And it
As you
takes
said,
time
it's deeply
to break
rooted
it.
in you. It's like becoming second nature. So it will take some time to another pattern to develop and to become second nature. And then when we talk about the change itself, we can see, or we can look for the change. Where is it happening? Because we can say that we have 3 levels of change. We have a change on a thinking level. That means that you start to think differently, because you put the efforts to have different thoughts or different thinking patterns, or principles or beliefs.
Beliefs, yeah.
You can change your beliefs, and when you change your beliefs, then there will become a change on your thinking level. Then we have a change on a behavior level. That's, for example, something that is visible from the outside. That means number of trades, for example, or I don't know, your diet, or your anything else.
And it's like, if you believe that, I don't know, 3 trades per day are that edge of yours, then it's much easier to take an action upon it.
Yep,
right?
absolutely, because thinking or behavior goes from thinking, and sometimes even it's reversed. So that means everything is affecting everything, as always.
It's all connected.
And what is also very important is that the change can happen on an emotional level as well. So we have behavior level, thinking level, and emotional level. And especially in trading, the emotional change is something what I would say
Creates a big part of it.
Yeah, creates the big part, and what makes the difference. Because sometimes when you have a losing trade, or when you see a losing trade as a threat or as a failure or something, you get the emotional response. And when you have the emotional response,
You
then
will most likely get
you are more likely to get revenge
trading.
trading, exactly, over leveraging. Maybe you will push or force trades that are not really there. So when you are able to make a change on emotional level, that means work with that emotion, or work with the beliefs about losing trades, then it will become easier not to fall for that trap and for that behavior. So it looks like maybe a little complicated.
It's complex.
It's complex topic, but that's where you can see the change. So what I want to say with this is that many times you maybe don't see the change on the behavior level, or maybe on a thinking level, but then you can realize that, wow, now the losing trade, or let's say unfair event in the market, that I got stopped out by fraction of pip, or that my position reversed just before my TP, and you can realize that, wow, few years ago I would be super frustrated. I would just jump back to the trading, but now I'm able to say, of course I'm not super happy, but I can accept it as it is, and you don't make the mistake. Of course, there will be other mistakes, because the more you progress with development, there is always something else. but sometimes it's good to realize that the change has happened, and you can take it as a reinforcement for other efforts, or like it's a motivation, because just because you don't make hundreds of percent per month, it doesn't mean that the change didn't happen, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that it makes sense
Yeah.
to those who are listening to us, but I totally understood how you explained that. At the same time, as we said, even though it's complex, I would say it's also like pretty simple, as you said. Identifying where's the problem and then really trying to change that particular problem. So you don't have to change, if you're, for example, experiencing, I don't know, like more issues, try to concentrate on the one or two for the first time. Like, basically, if you're gonna try to change two things, it's not gonna be so stressful for you. You can just concentrate on that, put it into your plan, write it down so you have it like physical, and then try to track that. But what is the most important thing, I would say? It's really putting an effort into that sort of momentum when you are experiencing that. So basically knowing that you are having this problem, and then knowing where or when you are experiencing that problem, and like bringing these thoughts into the moments. So as you said, like by your behavior, you can even change it vice versa, like you're gonna see that if you're gonna do this repetitively, let's say as for example having this like 3 trades per day,
For example,
that's an example, then if you're gonna see that this is working, it can really change your beliefs, even vice versa, right?
Yeah, because then you will believe that it's working, so it will get an extra motivation for you to do it again, and you just positively reinforce your behavior.
So creating the plan, sticking to it, putting efforts into that plan. When it comes to these like reports and like extra work, thinking about if it is actually part of the change, if it is helping you, if it is serving you, or if you are just wasting your energy on it.
Yeah, I really like what you said, that it's about putting the efforts at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because you can do enormous amount of work. We can compare it or imagine it as someone having a very strict diet, like working his ass off. The guy is just working out, and then after 1 month, 1 day or 2 days, just totally go crazy. Or 1 week, even 1 week, because I'm putting the work, but then I ruin my diet with something, or maybe he's doing like good stuff, good diet, but then he goes party every weekend, which is like, okay, so you put the efforts, but then you just shoot yourself in the leg, or you put the efforts into something else which is not helping you, and same goes in trading. What really matters is at that moment I'm having the temptation to do something I shouldn't be doing, and of course the temptation is always there. It's very difficult. At that moment I need to control myself and go and change, or make something else, make something different, and not go like always with the same pattern, because otherwise what can I expect if I will do the same thing over and over again? Like magic or something will happen? Unfortunately, no. But on the other hand, it's also the positive thing, because that means that if I will do the good stuff over and over and over again, I will have the results I want. So,
but at the same time, you have to think about, there will be days when within this process, I'm gonna get back to our example of like having 3 trades per day. You can follow your plan to the T. Market conditions are not gonna be, in your favor, and you're gonna hit the 3 stop losses in a row. And at that momentum, you need to know that like this is my trigger. Of course, I still I still used to be this person who used to revenge trade, and I know that this is the momentum, so I need to stop at that point. Like
Yeah,
really,
the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment. That's
Like
the
bringing
moment.
that awareness into it,
Yeah.
like being mindful. And if you're gonna take a fourth trade, then really stop, like, of course, we are human beings, we can do mistakes, this can creep out time from time, but really knowing when to stop, because I can see very often that if you would take that fourth trade, it's like, okay, my plan can go like out of the window and I'm just gonna take a fifth and sixth trade, and it doesn't matter because I already have a bad day, and you get back there.
I would just maybe sum it up with everything what we said already. Define the topic or the issue, have a feedback system, and then put the efforts at the right time, at the right place. I really like that. So, that would be my advice on this. Is anything you would like to add?
No, I think you said it right. I don't really have anything to add, so I would just say, as always, trade safe.
Trade safe, guys.
This was FTMO Performance Talks. And for more, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, SoundCloud, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content from FTMO. See you next time.